All right, we are live. Let me get this tweeted out over here. All right, wow, it took 5 minutes to load the broadcaster. So apparently it's got this thing where you try to log in and you hit continue, and then the continue doesn't work, so you have to go to task manager, shut the whole thing down, and then when you open up the next time, then it works. So that's the methodology right there. So that makes a ton of sense. I don't know. Maybe I need to upgrade this the broadcaster, upgrade the computer, and all that good stuff. But anyway, I'm glad we made it. Glad we're online. So hopefully you guys are able to join in here, even though we're about 5 minutes beyond the usual start time. But just a real quick review. So on the SPX here, we've got basically kind of where we left off, but just a little bit more defined, right, than we were before. As we know, going through 2018, right, we had a big run up all the way through the majority of the year. Of course, at the beginning of the year, we had a sell off, right, and correction back down, and then nice, kind of move up all through the year, double top, boom, wave one down, ABC2, potential wave three. Waiting for a wave 4, possibly here at the 23.6 retracement, and then the mid pitchfork line. Remember, this pitchfork crossed through the entire year, right? And then we tried 38.2%, failed, and then just looked, and then I was maybe 61.8%, and then now we're finally at the 78.6% retracement, right? Which almost kind of makes you think that maybe this is a wave 2, right? So maybe this whole thing, this whole scenario right here, maybe this is wave 1, and this was the A, this is the B, right? This is the C wave 2, and then we go down. I don't know. We'll see. But what we do know is that we've reached the top of the pitchfork, right? We've also reached this major resistance area right up here, also corresponding with a reaction line too that we drew yesterday. And so what we have now is almost another double top right here, and then a pivot right at a pitchfork area, and that usually is an indicator of a move back to at least test the median line, or it could test the median of the median, right, or the median of the top side. So somewhere around this intersection. So that's why I said earlier on Twitter that at the very least, it's, if we see some movement, right, we could push, right. There's been like a lot of kind of loose movement here between these levels where we're at right now. So a breakdown below Monday's low, I think could push to this 27.15 type area, and then if it then it might consolidate a little bit and then kind of push back down. If it gets here to this reaction line at the 50% retracement, right, and it would make sense for price discovery to want to retest the 50% retracement of this whole big move, then right, that's about the median of this big pitchfork area, and it would almost make sense for it to potentially get to that level. So that's sub 2650 potentially. Wow, that could be all the way. 2 weeks, something like that. But it is a distinct possibility. So we'll keep an eye on it. In the meantime, since we got started a little bit late, I'm going to jump into the technical review for today. So today, I want to go over something pretty cool. It's called it's another John Carter study. I'm really impressed with these indicators. I've been kind of messing with them during the day. Sometimes I see some really cool setups, and if I do, I tweet them out. But this one, if you remember a few weeks ago, we went over the linear regression channel. And real quick review, that's down here. It's just kind of a built-in tool with Thinkorswim. You click the little bar down here, and then you go to the regression channel with the R. And all it does is it picks the basically average, right? And you can see how it kind of gives you an idea. And then it gives one standard deviation up and another one down. And so you can see a lot of times, it's called linear regression because things like to regress towards the mean, right? So what's happening right now is that we're at this pivot, right, at the upper pitchfork, and it looks to me like it wants it. If I extend this to the right, like that. Right, it looks to me like it wants to, at least test that lower standard deviation, and then we'll see what it does, right? If it breaks down through that, typically that means the trend is changing, right? Or if it bounces, it might go back to the median line, right, or the mean, and continue this trend to the upside, right? So we'll see, but a lot of signs here are pointing to the down, right? So we've got the pitchfork. Resistance. We've got the major resistance here off of these 1, 2, 3 pivots earlier, and we've just got the fact that it's almost like a double top here, and potentially pushing down. We've got a reaction line too, which is also giving us that kind of momentum. So anyways, this is the linear regression channel, right? So that in TTM, the TTM basically I think just means it's a John Carter study, or trade the market. I can't remember the name of his book right off the top of my head, but it's basically like trading the markets. I think is his. I haven't posted in the previous set. What was it? John Carter's book. Sorry, now I've got myself mastering the trade. So maybe it's mastering the trade backwards. So that's his big book. I've got it on in my wish list in Amazon. But anyway, because I'm really impressed with his study. So so it might be just kind of that backwards. So TTM and then LRC stands for linear regression channel. Okay. So the really cool thing about this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that drawing, and I'm going to go to let's go to the futures charts because it's live right now. And they're down, by the way. So let's see. So give it a second here to load, and then I'll go back to the 5-minute chart, which is fun to look at least in the short term. Got a few level lines drawn up there. Let's see. So let's see. All right. So we go here, and here's what's really neat about this. Okay, and I'm going to add this. If I'm not sure if I can do it on the mobile, but if you guys are looking at this, I've already got loaded up the TTM scalper alert, and basically that shows you where pivots are. I mean, as if it's not obvious enough, right? But it does give you a nice confirmation that hey, this is officially a pivot, and maybe you could catch some more move on that, right? And so what I want to show you here is that with the linear regression channel, it's dynamic. Okay, so the other one, right, the other linear regression channel here, right? You start, let's say at this bar here, and you go here, and it kind of gives you this, right? And so here, let's see where that is. That's going up that way. I'm just trying to see where he starts it here. I can't really tell quite what bar. Maybe it's at this bar right here. There we go. So 2 bars back from wherever the pivot is where it starts. Okay. And so what that does is it just kind of moves along, right? And as the trend changes, the linear regression channel changes. Now here, I can draw it statically, and then adjust as I want to, just kind of watch it, right? So here, we hit the top of the linear regression channel. Here we overshot the bottom of it, good buying spot. Here we kind of came to the top. But what this does is it shows you dynamically how it's changing over time. And so so this is your standard, just as I drew right here, your regular linear regression channel, how it overlaps these right here. This gives you 2 standard deviations to the top and bottom, which is very powerful, especially in these shorter time frames. And so here, I'm looking at the 5-minute chart on the ES. What we can see is that where this started, right, we had a pivot down, okay, and you can't see it through here, but we were pivoting up. But where did we pivot up? We pivoted right at the bottom of the linear regression channel, right? This is a great spot to buy, okay. And then we started to have some confirmation, right? The MACD was going to have a golden crossover right here, right? It was about to go green, and so yeah, it came up, touched the median, right? Remember things like to tend towards the mean, right? Comes back down, tests the first standard deviation, top standard deviation down, and then what does it do? So if you're watching this, right, and it dynamically, what did it do? It hit the top of the cloud. So we know we like trading, cloud resistance, right? And it hit the top of the second standard deviation of this, right? And then what did it do? It came right back in. So and where did it regress to? It regressed to the mean. And so this is, we can watch this over time. And so what happens is that if you step forward, so what we could do is I'll show you. Let me go on demand real quick, and then we'll get to some chart requests. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. Didn't get to do a full thorough introduction today because of the broadcaster delay. It's funny. I just updated it this weekend. It's been asking me to update since I think like December, and I finally had some free time this weekend. I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and update it. And it seemed like a lot cleaner and crisper, but logging in is just or getting it to start running is pretty crazy. So here I'm just going back to what day was this? October 19th. Not too long ago. Okay, things are going live here, all right, or live in history. And what happens is, right, so this kind of gives you an idea of the trend, and so that's what I wanted to show you too. So you saw how to trade it, right, off the top of the linear regression channel of the second standard deviation, off the bottom, look at this, right off the 5, hit right at the cloud, and then kind of came all the way back up to the upper standard deviation, okay? So this is 20 minutes into the trading day on October 19th. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step forward. I'm going to go forward, let's go an hour. Okay, so it should give us a few more bars, 10 or so, or 12, I suppose. Okay, and look what, right? So now it does move dynamically. Look, so the angle of this, I wonder if I click on this, if it'll show me the angle. Sometimes they do. You can get properties. Not quite on this. I mean, you could look at you could always pull your linear regression, or you could just do a trend line. So if you did a trend line, you guys know that, right? Like you just click on this and go there, and it shows you see this little box right here that keeps jumping around. That shows you your slope of the line, right? How many bars you're looking at, right? So that's really helpful. So right now it's got you can see there it's a 46-degree angle. Okay, so that shows a 46-degree uptrend, right? But it's coming back in. So we'll go an hour and see if that shifts that to the downside. We'll check the slope of that. Let's go to 11. So other than looking at price action, right, you can see that this will this actually helps you. Give it a second here. Give it a second. The on-demand gets takes a while to adjust itself. Okay, so this one is awesome. So look what it did. It came all the way from that top pivot, right, top linear regression channel, and then all the way to the bottom, right, and also right at this this cloud resistance, so support as well, and right, and so it's kind of bouncing off it. Now let's look at the angle of the linear regression channel now. Okay, so now it's 13 degrees, right? So you can see that that change is about a 30-degree change in trend, right, to the downside. So it just kind of shows you dynamically. It's a great way to see with indicators, or an indicator what the slope is of the trend, right, and the change, right. So as soon as this goes from a positive slope to a negative slope, then you'd expect the change to officially be really changed. And what they do say too is that part of this study is if you break above the upper linear regression channel and then stay above it, that shows a true trend change. And so here, if it were to break below the second standard deviation and stay below it, then that's another trend change. So it's a great way to track that. So hopefully that's helpful. Let's go to the end of the day and just see what it ended up at. Let's go to 3 o'clock, 15:55, and see how it ended up that day. Oh man, look at that. Total trend change. It went from a positive slope to a negative slope. And so let's just take a look right here. Wowza. Is that really what happened? Oh yeah, because it keeps on moving forward, right? So here we were that morning, right? Went up, right, and then came down, hit the cloud, moved up on the cloud. Then you had a pivot point here and a pivot point here, and then from there, look at that, it went down beautifully, right? And now you can see the slope. Let's just check the slope one more time. It's probably negative 10 or so. Yeah, about negative 7 or 8 degrees. And so we went from a 40-degree positive slope to a negative slope. And so now hit the just kind of watch it. So the linear regression channel direction changed, right? Give you a nice hammer bar there. What happened to the hammer bar? Boom, reversal, right? Only got to the first standard deviation, back down, kind of came closer to the second standard deviation, back up. And this is basically how it's finishing at the day, right at the cloud. Okay, so when you combine all these different tools, right, it's really helpful, right? So the cloud, I think, is great, even on the 5-minute chart. On most of these time frames, it really just kind of shows you where you're at. And then combining these John Carter indicators are really, really helpful. So I hope that, guys. I'm gonna start using it in my trading too. Hopefully they have it on the phone as well. In fact, let me check real quick before we get to chart requests. So before I forget, here. Let's pull up the app. Here, studies. Click study. Let's see if it's got TTM. Yeah, it's got it. So sweet. So you guys might see that on my nightly, my update charts and all that stuff when we're looking at the SPX. So that looks really cool. I'm really pumped about that one. So good. And then real quick, I wanted to, from Mike's NF, I wanted to show real quick what you could do is in your indicators. Let's just say we had a volume indicator down here. This is just a real quick something. So basically a request from this morning from my good buddy Mike. Just say here. So let's go volume. Let's do a volume indicator. So you just type in volume, and then let's say I go volume average. Okay, so we'll do that in the bottom. So that should pop up. So here's your average volume, right? Auto zoom. Okay. And then what you do is, if you want to check to see your volume, this is how you do it in Thinkorswim. Let's say you want to put a price level here. Let's say you want to get below, the average, kind of like this area, this 12,000 or whatever this is, right? So there. So you could put a line there, and then what you do is you right click on that, and you could do Oh, will it not let me do an alert? Not letting me do an alert down here. Interesting. All right, so remove drawing. I know this is something I should have tested after the video, but let me just check this real quick on a trend line. It is not allowing an alert on that. Very interesting. Okay, very good. Cool. Wait, edit properties, maybe, possibly set an alert. No. Huh. Okay, guys, sorry, that was just an experiment, so I thought we'd be able to set an alert on that, so couldn't do it. Anyway, at this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to put them in the chat window, and we will run through as many as we can, and we'll try to get wrapped up, relatively early, like around 10 or so, so we can all get some rest. AC, what's going on, man? Harvey, how are you? I hope that was helpful. Using the cloud on the 5-minute time frame too with those linear regression channels. Hopefully, you can kind of see, how to catch like those pivot points. I think it's pretty helpful. Christopher, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Sandeep, what's up, dude? Hey, it was a good day today. So yeah, I love down days, right? So for the most part, so it's just so much easier to short. For some reason, it just always goes faster. So today was, if you just kind of look at the SPX chart today, it was, you just look at the linear regression channel line, how it's pointing straight. Same angle, same everything. Here we go. Hold on. We picked a very similar day in history. But yeah, so nice move down, right? Look what it did. Kind of came to this area of the cloud, tried to bounce, right? Broke back through it, came up, resistance down, right? Back up, resistance down, right? So, so pretty cool there. And this was great here the other day. So this is a fantastic push down as well. Gosh, am I still showing it? Is this still October? Goodness gracious, guys! I really apologize. What is going on here? Why am I in 2018? What is happening? Let me switch to something else. Having a lot of technical difficulties today. Let me just load a new work screen. Maybe that'll refresh everything. You might lose me for a second here. Sorry, guys. Let's see if this thing pops back up here. Might get a black window. Or, oh, wait, hold on. There we go. We're back. We're the right day now. Let's go SPX. Let's go auto zoom. Okay, got our chart back up. Goodness gracious me. Okay, so here. All right, we're in the right day. Okay, all right. So maybe we just had the date wrong because it looks exactly the same. But anyway, big push down, right? Break through the cloud. It's a little bit different, right? So, but here we started the day right at the cloud, broke through the cloud, and then gave a couple nice pivot, but nice moves down today. So that was great. And then I just kind of drew this line here. This is kind of our support level right here after the day. This is our low on Monday. If we break through that, that could be pretty nasty, right? Came up and was kind of working on the cloud today. So just kind of wanted to show you how nice that works with the cloud, and all that too. So yeah, so it was a good day. But thanks for asking. All I had to do is say yes, it was a good day, right? NetPry, what's going on, man? What's wrong with CVS, UNH, and WBA? I don't know, man. Maybe it's the fact that the whole industry is just horrible. But let's take a look. Let's go to a daily chart here if I can. Oh man, yeah, I got destroyed. I don't know. Maybe it's the market reacting. Maybe the market is actually punishing them for their crimes against humanity. But let's see. So that was we've been working on CBS for a while. It's been a crazy kind of if this was your pivot high, this 84, then this is kind of like sort of an A, maybe a B, and then sort of like an X wave. So like an extended. A double flat or something like that, right? So, so we finally possibly wave 2 here. This could have been 1, 2. I guess 3, 4, 5. That could have been a wave 1, and then sort of an A, B, C wave 2, and then now it looks like it was working on wave 3. So 1, 2. Right, 3. So then possibly another pullback here, and then maybe another push down. So, but it's nice to see CVS, finally breaking down. That's cool. UNH, Similar, it looks like it's got room to go. It's got some support right here, right? So we've done a pitchfork on this, but it's breaking through that pitchfork. So if it can't hold there, right? 203, here we come. And then WBA. Looks like they got Amazon or something like that. But yeah, WA just broke down, Bo. Nice catch on the CME. So, wow, came all the way down to that volumetric level right there. I mean, looks like it could be hitting a low here too. Makes me want to draw a fib fan line just to see. Very interesting here. Yeah, see how it holds that 59 level. If again, if not, what do we got here? We got nice little kind of head and shoulders type pattern. So wow, really breaking down. That's incredible. Good stuff. Nice catch, Net Fry. Sandeep, let's take a look at ATVI. Wow. Yeah, so we did a pitchfork on this earlier. I'm sorry, a fib fan line, and so kind of grabbed here. This is a a level that we looked at since earnings, and we did a congestion zone kind of area here. So we're looking to see if it can maybe tag that area and maybe reverse back down. So, gosh, really it looks like it's turning into a penny stock, doesn't it? AVGO. Oof. We talked about this yesterday, right? We had a nice big push up, right? And I was thinking consolidation. It looks like it's breaking back in to the pitchfork level. So if you see another red day tomorrow, look for this 260 level. And SFIX. Oh goodness, I haven't heard about SFIX in a while. It was like super popular a while ago, and then just kind of came off the radar. But to me, it's looking constructive in a way. I'm going to do a little Elliott wave on this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, right. A, B, C, 4. Right, 5. Okay, and so it looks like a 5-wave down, right? And now it's working on kind of like a corrective pattern. A, B, C, right? But it looks kind of zigzag-ish. So you'd have to kind of really get into the nitty-gritty. If it could be 1, 2, and there could be 3, 4, 5 might get to like this 32 level, and if that's a zigzag, then you might see A, B, C down, right? Another A, B, C down, and then if it does, right, depending on where that is, right, let's say it comes back down to 2056, then you might see another zigzag back up, right? So it looks like it's forming a zigzag up. So maybe mini 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that, instead of this. Cancel, remove, drawing, remove, drawing, remove, drawing. So you got kind of like a little mini 1, 2, 3. Maybe it's working on like a 4 right now. 4 and then 5. Okay, and then so from there you would expect an A, B, C down, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back up. So let's definitely keep an eye on that one. That's a great one. Please bring that up as we track that. That's a good one. My pleasure, Sandeep. AC, let's take a look at Roku. How is Roku today? I saw it up on FinTwitter. Oh my goodness. So there you go, guys. Thought we had we looked at a potential ending diagonal here. Came back, but then it also looked like a potential bull flag. Turned out the bull flag was correct, and look at that, just kind of broke out through that. Just incredible, nice move there. So bull flag and then up. So that's what we look at, guys. So this is a big move up, right? That's a key level, right? Came back below it, broke above it, real strong consolidation, right? And then bull flag, break to the upside. I mean, pretty classic, type style, right there. So pretty nice stuff. Also think about it this way too. This could be like a rising wedge. Yeah, I mean a beginning diagonal as well of a smaller subwave. So that's a possibility too. But yeah, looks strong. I mean, I don't know what to say here. I mean, it's going. It's really accelerating, but it's not too far from that 77 high right there. So pretty incredible. Like I said yesterday, I do like Roku. Just in general, I think they got cool products. I think they've been one of the coolest in the industry with their free streams and everything. So Good stuff. Matt, what's going on, man? Yeah, great day. I hope you had a good day too. Shirley, how are you? Always good to see you. Prayer Kid, what's going on, buddy? Still holding. Oh, you still got those the ES SPX the puts on those. Awesome. Looking for retest of 2709. Nice. Well, if you caught the beginning, 2650 could be on the radar as well. Da, da, da. Abdu, what's going on, man? Good to see you. QQQ and FP. Yep. Wow, that's pretty messy, isn't it? Let me create a new drawing set on that. That's a little crazy here. QQQ too. Okay, so I don't need that there. That was back when I used to really track it a little bit more. So here, let's just kind of take a look. To me, QQQ. I mean, honestly, the whole thing looks like this thing. All these indexes really just seem to map each other out, right? They seem to be very similar. So let's just see how this looks here. If we did there, right? It looks just like SPX, right? So, except the only difference is, right? So this was all through the 2017. The only difference is that this is not, SPX is near the upper pitchfork, right? But this is not. And so that looks very interesting. So let's take a look here. High to low. Just kind of see where. So remember, SPX was at the 78.6% retracement, and QQQ is not there yet. So it doesn't mean it has to get there, right? I mean, it could very well be a very similar setup as the other one, right? So we could be, one, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3. That's a little nasty, honestly. But yeah, I mean, it's pivoting right up here, but it didn't quite get the move that the SPX did. So hard for me to say, but it does look kind of top heavy right here. And there's that 78.6 does correspond to another pivot, like right here, which is this 178. So if it did hit that 178, that might be a potential consolidation point. So I don't know. Amazon pulled back a lot today, so it kind of gave up most of its gains. So that's gonna weigh pretty heavy on the Qs. And I can't really think of anything else good that's going on except for Facebook. And I mean, yeah, Facebook technically looks good, but I mean, it's just such a garbage company, but it's pushing, it's trying to get there. So it's got some pretty heavy resistance coming up too. So just need to keep an eye on that as well. So that covered QQQ and Facebook. So Facebook had a nice breakout, right? So it had a big gap up after earnings, right? This gave you that nice bull flag, and then boom, broke that to the upside right when it hit the fib fan line too, right back up. So I would expect some consolidation, right? And then maybe a retest of that 178 level as well. Gosh, it's almost like equally priced to the Qs, isn't it? Yeah, they're like an Apple too. Look at that; they're all 170. That is very fascinating. Wow, very cool. Chris Kemp, what's going on, buddy? Let's take a look at GS. Yeah, GS was kind of on the long radar today because it put in a. Let's go take a look. I believe it put in the bottoming tail yesterday, but just really never got any follow through. I mean, you could have scalped it. Right, so remember yesterday I hit the bottoming tail right at the daily cloud bottom, right? So so it opened here, right? So you could have scalped that, to the upside. So that was better than the rest of the market was doing. 196 all the way up to what was it? 196.20. Yeah, so $1.50 move right there, not too bad. And then it came back in, and that's halfway in the range. So this it basically has a shooting star reversal pattern on it right now. So so now it looks weak. It was kind of bullish yesterday. Now it's countered that, and then you can see if you get some follow through the downside on GS. So that actually looks now bearish. And then IQ, let's take a look. Inside day. So I do like that. So you got pretty big volumetric level here. I mean, it had a huge run on earnings, right? And then any of those earnings runs the next day, you can always try to play that that break of the prior high, and there that was 27.95 all the way to 29.22, right? So another $1.50 move, which is a little bit better on IQ as percentage-wise than Goldman Sachs. Then it gapped down, right? So it's kind of nasty, and so it's kind of putting in this this pattern. It does look like a bit of a pennant here. So let's just take a look at that. So boom, like that. Like this, right? Inside day, so possible inside day break to the upside, could get a move up. If not, break to the downside. But it's still still looks like a potential bullish pattern right here. So a break to the upside could get some movement. Of course, if the market's really weak, might break to the downside, right? So, but look for that inside day break. See how that works out. Thank you, Nephrite. Yeah, sorry for the delay there in the computer. Skipped over some stuff. Shirley, what's going on? Okay, so Facebook, awesome. We just took a look at that. BPTH. And everybody always pay attention to Shirley's levels. They are usually quite accurate. I think she just jumps on here just to get confirmation. So, and sometimes we can catch some stuff. I think you had one yesterday that looked a little bit scary. Wow, look at this one. So this is really, and Shirley does like the penny stocks too, which is pretty cool. Wow, 202 to $1. Biopath Holdings. Talk about hero to zero. Wow. Oh, imagine if you bought the highs there. Oh, it'll go back, right? Goodness gracious. Okay, but it's in some volume levels right here. So it had a lot of volume, a lot of consolidation right here. Finally broke up. Hit that volumetric level, came down, broke out again, and now it's kind of breaking out right here. So it does have some potential. You got a gap to fill here. So it's got a long way to go to 202. But goodness gracious, if you bought from here and could get to 202, that would be a pretty incredible trade. So I like it. MO. Yeah, being a bag holder on that last one would be no fun. Okay, so MO is a modus operandi here for the Altria group. Kind of working its way back up, right? So I mean, it does look really bullish, surely. So inverted head and shoulders. So kind of at that neckline area here. So it looks like we finished that wave 5 down. We started tracking this a little bit ago, and then so it could be working on a zigzag up. So 1, 2, 3, maybe a pullback, and then 5, which could be your head and shoulders break, and then ABC down, and then another 5 up. So I think eventually it could get to that 66 level again. And it got beat up for no reason. But I mean, obviously a big company like big tobacco like that is probably going to still make it, right? Because everybody still vapes and smokes and all that stuff. So ANF, it sure beats Johnson & Johnson. At least these guys are, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. It's all horrible. All right, so here we go. So you have this, and just kidding. It's not that bad. So you have this. We're Abercrombie and Fitch. Yeah, so we had earnings. This should be on the. I think it was down after hours, but definitely be a 15 Orbitalist watch list tomorrow. So just keep an eye on that. So I think your levels, would be okay if you get confirmation. BB, BlackBerry. Whoa, nice, Shirley. So this one got up, right? Came back in, right? Broke through FibFan resistance, broke through volumetric resistance, and nice bar today. And so it's got earnings coming up, right? Still at the end of the month, but you could possibly see that 1031 level as well. So your levels look good there. TSG, Stahls Group. Look at that. It tagged right at that FibFam line to the tick, right? So you might get a little push forward here and then, possibly move back up to 21 and beyond, like your levels say. Brian, what's going on, man? Do I use standard? Yep, I just use standard cloud. I do make another one that goes 49 and 144 days extra. I just color those blue, but you don't really see those on too many of my charts because they're pretty big and kind of out there. But yeah, I just use standard, man. So it makes it easy. Andrew, what's going on, buddy? BIIB, C, and Xilinx. Okay. BIIB. I saw KPAC had a tweet out there that this was reversing, and so I will take his word for it. Yeah, so we were kind of tracking this not too long ago. Let me remove this pitchfork. It's a little old. So we've got our Fibonacci level here. I don't know what I was retracing at the time. Looks like I was here. And just kind of look at, I think what I was doing is looking to see if like a wave 2 had ended or something like that. But here we are, we're kind of hanging out in this fib fan line. It's kind of breaking down at this point. Let me remove the Fibonacci. It's kind of useless there. And so really, honestly, to see if it checks that 307 level, it might get, if it gets bullish, it's got a lot of resistance over it now. So couldn't hold that 329 level. Check out C. Annoying stock to trade. Just a slow mover, and but it does look like it's putting in sort of an inverse head and shoulders. So if it could get back above that 63.50 level, then you might be able to see 67 again. If not, then down we go, right? So it's got plenty of room to the downside too. And then Xilinx, I want to pull up the candlestick chart on this one. Inside day, break to the downside. Let's go up to the candlesticks. Okay. Goodness gracious. Don't need Fibonacci right there. Remove that. So that's too distracting. So basically here, this is what we were looking at. I was kind of looking at it short a couple game plans ago, and the reason being is that obviously I had a huge move up after earnings. Remember what we talked about here that first day, first big earnings? Sometimes you can get a break on that, and you swing that. Look at that, from 107 all the way to 127. So a nice 20-point move on that. You had this big doji bar right here at the upper Bollinger Band, oversold conditions on RSI, and then it pulled all the way back in, right, to the 10 MA. Then you got an inside day yesterday, right? Then it breaks out to the downside today from 122 to 120, so a 2-point move there. Now the mid Bollinger Band is kind of catching up, so I'm not saying short it at this point, but spinning top, kind of a big spinning top. It could still retest those levels at 119. So just look for intraday setups and see if anything looks pretty good. But don't forget too, it could be these power gappers, right? Could be giving you some sort of flag, like that to eventually break to the upside. So, but it could still work down, like I said, to that mid area and then back up. So, something to keep track of. Nephri, my pleasure, my friend. Shirley, LYB. Yes, very good, very good. Testing these key levels, but a nice breakout today, so I think your levels are good there. VTI looks pretty interesting. British American Tobacco, cool. Which cigarettes do they make? Do they make Mavericks? So I saw somebody smoking a Maverick the other day. I was like, what's a Maverick? But it looks like it is getting into this gap right here, so I do like that as potential. 41 maybe. But again, in time it consolidates to there. 49 is definitely volumetric resistance, so it could definitely retest that levels. Abdu, no problem, my friend. Good to see you. Chris, my pleasure, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, KPAC's the best, dude. Great charts and great ideas. So good friend. His charts are different than mine. They're cleaner, and mine's kind of like more like he's more of like a I don't know, different arm. He's like the Air Force, I'm sort of like the Army or something like that. But anyway, good stuff. Andrew, my pleasure, man. Thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. I hope everybody has a good night and a good trading day tomorrow. Just be careful tomorrow, right? Everything's been looking, just be aware, both ways. But to me, I'm going to be looking for short setups again. We'll see what happens. Of course, everything could reverse. It could be huge news and all that stuff. So just keep an eye on that. But anyway, be safe out there. Have a good night, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.